Hi everyone, I'm Steve McCann, Client Relations here at SlashData. It's my pleasure to bring you this webinar based on our Q1 2022 State of the Developer Nation report, specifically the no-code, low-code tools section of the report. The presentation today will be run by our analyst and data storyteller, Nikita Solokov. Before handing over to Nikita, I'll start with a quick intro to SlashData, who we are and what we do. SlashData is a developer-focused analyst company, and we help uncover who developers are, where they are, what they're involved in, their decision-making influence, the technologies, languages, and developer resources they use, population sizings, developer segmentations even, and much more. So we do this through our twice annual Developer Nation surveys, as well as custom survey projects. But the Q1 2022 Developer Nation survey was the 22nd edition of this research. We reached afresh to a sample of plus 20,000 developers in 166 countries. And in the last year, we've surveyed plus 30,000 unique developers, covering a wide expanse of research, including these development areas you see in the left-hand side. And the State of the Developer Nation is a free report based on our Developer Nation surveys. As I mentioned already, today we'll delve into the low-code, no-code tools section of the report. And with that, I would like to introduce you to and hand you over to our analyst, Nikita.
Thank you for the introduction, Steve. So first, let's just quickly discuss what are low-code, no-code tools. In this presentation, we're going to shorten this to LCNC. And these tools are essentially used for a visual approach to software development as a counterpart or a replacement to traditional coding environments. So some reasons why people use them for development. Well, they require less coding experience. So those who with less experience are more likely to get started with such tools to create software or start creating them. Furthermore, as you write less code, this reduces the number of errors, potentially saves time, reducing costs as well. Now, first, let's look at the distribution of usage amongst developers. So we see that there's actually not that much difference between professionals, non-professionals, and overall developers in terms of how much code they use. So on the right-hand side, we see that only 46% of developers actually use low-code, no-code tools. Now, over here, we see that 20% use it for a minimal amount of work, which we classify as less than 25%, and the rest use it for more than that. If we look into the usage of more than half of the development work, then we see that actually there is a little bit of a difference between professionals and non-professionals. Here we see that professional developers actually use it a little bit more than non-professionals. This is likely because non-professionals may be students or hobbyists who are just learning to code, and they're more focused on using traditional coding tools to help them in their future software development work. Following this, we see that only 11% use LCNC tools for more than half the time. So the adoption isn't actually big enough to replace the traditional coding environments anytime soon. Furthermore, if we look at the reliance of developer tools or amongst people of different experience, we see that those who have the most experience, which we say is 11 or more years of experience, they actually use low-code, no-code tools the least. Now, this is likely because they have more experience with the software, and the tasks that they're assigned have significantly higher complexity, which may not be suitable for a no-code or low-code environment. However, if we look at the small amount of usage, which is less than 25%, and shown as a red line on this graph, we see that the difference isn't actually as large as the gray curve, which was the no usage at all. So there is some amount of developers that use it for additional supplementary coding to their traditional programming environments. If we look at the distributions of usage of these tools amongst different regions, we see that they actually vary quite a lot. For example, while on the global level, we see 46% adoption amongst all developers, in Greater China, 69% of developers use low-code, no-code tools to some extent, whereas in South America, on the other end of the spectrum, we see that only 19% use LCNC tools. Now, we can also look at those who use it for more than 50% of their work, which is shown as the light green and dark green points. We see that North America is at the forefront of usage amongst developers. We see that 19% of North American developers use LCNC tools for more than half of their work, whereas the global average is only 10%, which shows that North Americans are almost twice as likely to use LCNC tools for more than half the development. However, this number is still quite small, and so we jump into conclusions and summary and conclusions. Right? And here we see the 46% use low-code, no-code tools, while only 11% use it for more than half the time. Experienced developers use the tools the least, whereas those in Greater China actually have the highest adoption rate. Now, this shows that LCNCs are most likely used as an occasional adjunct to the existing coding tools and have a long way to go before they can replace the traditional coding environments in the near future. And that will be all for today's presentation. And if there are any questions, please let us know in the comments. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Nikita. And thank you to those of you watching this webinar. If you have any follow-up questions on the data and insights here, or our deeper low-code, no-code tools, data and insights, or other research topics, you can contact us directly.